The next award is for game writing. It's the first award and presented by Ajit George.
I am honored to be presenting the inaugural Nebula for Outstanding Game Writing. It represents a conversion of two powerful forces in my life, literature and games. Because it is the very first year of this historic award, I'd like to take a moment to speak about why it's so important. I am the first member of my family born in the United States. Growing up, I was the only brown kid at school, which left me torn between two cultures at war. A liberal American one in the classroom and a conservative Indian one at home. I felt deeply alienated and often confused. I hated every part of me, from my weird name to my dark skin to my curly Malayali hair. I remember looking in the mirror as a teen and wishing I was white, wishing I was more American. During that time, books and games were my solace. It was through games that I began testing the water of my identity. My first characters were white, almost unthinkingly so, because that was normal and because I wanted to be normal. But after some time, I began to experiment with Indian characters. I did it because some part of me longed to be myself, and games were the safest place to try. Indian spies, Indian sorcerers, Indian vampires, I played them all and more as I explored my Desi identity in these imagined worlds and came to realize how important my ethnicity was to me. I found peace with and then love for my Indian American heritage. I am thankful for games, for giving me that space to explore. Without it, I do not know where I would be today. Games also offered windows into experiences not my own. The game How We Came to Live Here let me thoughtfully explore the legends of indigenous people of the American Southwest. Monster Hearts put me in the body of a horny, teenaged, queer monster. That was fun. And the game Bluebeard's Bride thrust me into a world of feminine horror I did not have an understanding for. These games and others like them helped me grow. They shaped my understanding of the world and made me a more empathetic person. Games are now an integral part of my life. Some of you are familiar with my work with the impoverished and marginalized communities in India through Netflix's documentary series, Daughters of Destiny. In the final episode, there's a scene where I speak to a group of boys about feminism. What you don't see is the part where we play games together. Role-playing games that explore the often harsh and unfair lives of their sisters and their mothers, where the boys confront misogyny prevalent in the urban slums and the rural villages where they come from, where they wrestle with the toll that the Indian patriarchy exerts on everyone, men and women alike. Playing these games becomes part of the boy's journey away from toxic masculinity and towards a life filled with healthy relationships. I am thankful for games, for giving me the tools to help those young men and women who look up to me for guidance and support. Whether it is by allowing us to wrestle with parts of ourselves we're not entirely comfortable with, or imagining the world through different eyes, games transform us. And that's why I'm so excited by this year's slate of nominees. They represent a unique set of voices presented in distinctly different mediums. And the very first year's nominees are Black Mirror Bandersnatch by Charlie Brooker, House of Tomorrow, and Netflix. The Road to Canterbury by Kate Hartfield, choice of games. God of War by Matt Sophis, Richard Gorbert, Corey Barlog, Orion Walker, and Adam Dolan, Santa Monica Studio, Sony Interactive Entertainment. Rent-A-Vice by Natalia Theodorodou, choice of games. And The Martian Job by M. Darusha Wynn, choice of games. And this year's winner, Black Mirror Bandersnatch, Charlie Brucker.
Hi, I'm Michael Underwood, accepting on behalf of Charlie Brooker. Thanks so much to the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America for their recognition as the first winner of the Nebula Award for Game Writing. Thanks also to everyone involved in making Bandersnatch come to life on screens around the world. Here's to forging ever stronger connections between writers of science fiction and fantasy in every form, from prose to games and more. Thank you.